Hi there. In this video, I'm going to show you how to create your own custom script. On the left side, you're going to see all the features you can use when creating a campaign. For this example, I'm going to implement each feature just to give you a clear idea of how to use each one. This campaign is going to be used to qualify leads who requested a free quote on a website offering car insurance. I'm going to start with the yes or no question. So in order to do that, I'm going to click on this yes or no feature. And then once I do so, a container will pop up on the top left of the script builder. Then you need to click on the container, which will open a pop-up on the right side where you can actually type in the text that you want your VoiceBot to say. This drop-down menu shows you your smart tags. Smart tags are placeholders that grab information from your contacts in order to make the conversation more personalized. So now I'm going to go ahead and type in what I want my VoiceBot to say. But before clicking save, I want to show you one of my favorite features that actually allows you to record your own voice instead of using the synthetic voices that we offer. It's very easy to do and doesn't change how you organize and or create your campaign. If you're confused by this feature, don't worry because we're going to have a video that goes into depth on how to use it. Now that I'm done, I'm going to click save. Now you can see the actual script that you wrote down on the container itself. Now let's focus on this icon over here. What this icon represents is the beginning of the conversation. So for example, I'm going to put this container right below. So in order to connect the yes or no question that we just created, you simply need to click one of the square boxes on the phone icon and then click on the container. I know in advance that I want to ask another yes or no question regardless of their answer. So let me fill this out really quickly so we can move forward. Okay, so now I need to connect the first yes or no question to the other two yes or no questions that we're having. In order to do so, just like we connected the phone icon to the first container, I'm going to simply click on this box so that if they say yes to this question, this is how the VoiceBot will respond. I'm going to go ahead and do the same for the other container just in case they respond no. So if they don't qualify, I want to ask them if they would like to receive more information over a text. If they don't want to receive a text, then I'm going to have the VoiceBot say thank you and end the call right there. In order to do this, I'm going to use a statement. Statements don't expect any response, and they're usually used at the end of the conversation in order to sign off. Now, if they do want to learn more, then I'm going to have the VoiceBot send them a text. In order to do so, I'm going to click the Send SMS feature, drag it to where we need it to be, and then input the information. Over here, just like the other ones, here's where you type what you're going to say. Now, after typing what I want our VoiceBot to say to the lead, we can then actually type what we want the message of the SMS to be. Now, this is the end of the conversation, assuming that they replied no to our first question. So what we need to do now is go on the left side, click the end feature, drag the red phone icon to this side of the screen. This arrow on the bottom left of the script allows you to expand the script builder so that you can actually continue to build your script. And then simply connect the containers to the phone like you've done in the past. Now I just realized that I forgot to connect these two containers. Let's go back and let's do that. Something to keep in mind as well is that if you make a mistake, If you just hover over the line, you'll see a trash can, and that will actually delete the connection. So now that we're done on this section, let's work on the script for if our lead qualifies for car insurance, or in other words, answers yes to our first question. Because they're a warm, relevant lead, I want to get them on the phone with an agent as soon as possible. So I'm going to use the transfer container. So now you can type in the text like you would normally do, and then you need to add the number that you want your lead to be transferred to. And you can include an extension if necessary. Let me go ahead and type this in. Then you're actually going to have to type the message that you want your voice bot to say to your sales rep who's about to receive the call. Now, if they aren't available to speak with an agent right now, since they're a warm and relevant lead and they qualify for our insurance plan, I'm going to have the voice bot schedule a time to meet with them. In order to do so, I'm going to go to schedule a meeting, click on the container, begin by adding the script, after adding your text, you can now set your sales rep's availability based on what time zone they're in, the event duration, and you can actually integrate your Google Calendar. Don't worry about how to integrate it right now. We're going to hold another video soon about how to do so. So like we've done before, we're going to have to connect this container to the other containers to show how the voice bot should respond based on our lead's answer. Now the last thing that I want to do is add an open-ended question. What this feature does is allow your voice bot to ask a question and listen for 30 seconds for the answer. All the information will be transcribed, recorded, and available for review in the QA section, right over here. Don't worry about that though, we're going to go into more depth in future videos. Now I'm just going to add one more statement to end this conversation, and then I'm going to end the script right there. Something to keep in mind is that you can have multiple endpoints. So I'm going to actually grab another endpoint. I don't need to connect it to the first one that we created. And then go and connect the statement that I want to be the last thing to the endpoint. So now everything is set up. I'm going to launch a test call just to make sure that everything is working properly. So in order to do so, I'm going to click this over here and then actually launch my test call. You have a few options. You can either search for an uploaded contact in your account or type in the contact information yourself. I'm going to type my own information and call myself actually. Once you click text, you'll receive a call. And that's how you create a campaign. Thanks for listening.